All right, are you struggling with dry hair? Is your hair crispy? Is it not shiny? Are you trying to pull it back and do different styles and you feel like it is just snapping off like, hey, I've been there too. All right, so if you've watched my intro video, you know that I did my big chop about 2 years ago. So I've really been trying different methods. I'm the only one in my family that has type 4 hair. So it really was a journey in and of itself for me to figure out how the heck do I keep it moisturized? How do I do that? Especially with low porosity hair. How do I keep it moisturized for more than a day? That's something I really struggled with. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to sort of help y'all who are just starting your journey, want to start your journey, or maybe you're just struggling with this and you're like, my hair is just hella dry and I don't know what to do. I'm also a college student, so I understand not having the time to like re-moisturize your hair every single day. No one has time for that, right? Especially when you're busy. So I did just wash my hair. I've let it air dry for, I'd say, about 10 minutes. And the reason I do that is because I don't like having water all over me. You can still sort of see I'm sort of shiny from the water being like all over the place. To start, this is what you're going to need to do this method, all right? You're gonna want a leave-in conditioner or a hair butter, whatever you like to use to keep your hair moisturized, whatever works for you. This is my own personal blend of butters and oils that I like to use. If you're interested, I can definitely make a video going into detail on what I use for my hair. You also are going to want an oil that really keeps your hair moisturized and shiny. This also is a special blend that I've made myself, so I'll probably make a video talking about what I put in these two products. That being said, you're also going to want some type of a curling gel, a gel. I don't recommend the Ecos because for me, I find that they flake. They'll be good for like a day or two, but like I said, we want to keep our hair moisturized for at least a week, right? Because we're busy, we got lives. So Eco, it's going to flake and then it's going to look like dandruff, and that's not cute. So we don't want that. Next, you're going to want a spray bottle on deck. I recommend one that gives you a really good amount of spray. I know sometimes people will like repurpose like spray bottles that had other products in and you're only getting like a little mist effect. You want to be able to wet your hair throughout this process. So let's get started. So I like to keep a little washcloth with me or a towel just because you're going to get product on your hands and you do not want to be slipping and sliding and dropping all of your products around because, you know, we're trying to do this fast. We're trying to do it speedy and we'll see. So first thing, I like to do one half of my hair. I am going to break it up in smaller parts, but first thing first, get a hair tie. I personally really like these plastic type ones. I find that they don't rip my hair and they're easy to take out. So let's grab this side of your hair and feel free to follow along or just watch the video and then do it on your own. But if you want to follow along, I'll try and make it very clear. So next, break your hair in half again. My parts are not neat. Like I said, it doesn't have to be super precise, right? Like I'm trying to get this done. I got things to do. I got homework, you know. So I'm trying to make this something that's super fast, super easy. You don't have to worry about having perfect parts, right? So we're going to clip that part up. So right now we have about 1/4 of my hair in this section. So you want to have a spray bottle. I recommend having a spray bottle that has a little bit of oil in it just to add that extra bam of moisture throughout this process. If not, water is fine. So first things first, spray some water up in that section. And this is really important, okay? I would not add water as I apply products. And I found that if you add water as you're doing it, which you'll see throughout this video, it makes a crazy huge difference. No joke. It just locks in even more moisture. So we're going to start with that. Next, get your leave-in conditioner, hair butter, whatever you like to use to just keep your hair moisturized. I recommend personally for type 4 hair, you're going to want something thicker. You want something, this is a butter, so it's going to be thicker than probably most leave-ins, but you want something thick, okay? You don't want something really runny, really watery. You don't want something that looks like a cheap lotion. For example, if you haven't seen my Mayel product review, check that out. One of the products was super thin. It was not cutting it. Versus their smoothing butter, very nice consistency. And like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out that video. So you want it to be thick. Girl, if it's not thick, Okay, if it's not thick like this, it's not gonna work for your hair. Don't buy it. Okay, it's not gonna work for type 4 hair. That is the biggest mistake I did. My mom and my little sister actually have type 3 hair. So does my stepsister. So growing up, I was only seeing those type of products. I was using them in my hair, like that Cantu leave-in. Girl, that's not for you. Don't buy it. Okay, that is not for you. Do not buy it. So you want a nice thick product. So how much do you want to add? In this section, I probably add about 3/4 sized amounts into my hair of just the leave-in conditioner or hair butter or whatever you love to use. So you want to run it through. Personally, I do not like using a brush. I don't like brushing my hair. I try to only brush my hair once a month when I do my wash. That being said, I do a co-wash halfway through the month, and when I do that, I just do a finger detangle, and then I finger detangle with the product. So as you can see, run it all the way through. Get it up at the roots. Really get up at your roots, right? You see? And then bring it through. And be very gentle with your hair. I really like to think of it as I'm just caressing my hair, right? If there's a knot, really work through it. Really detangle it with your fingers. You might be able to tell my finger is getting a little bit caught at the ends. That's because I need a trim. I'm actually going tomorrow to get a trim, but so my hair is getting caught at the ends. That's not even because like there's a knot. It's just that hair just needs to go. So, but if you have already gotten a trim, you don't need a trim. You should be able to just run your hands right through. So get it all the way through. And like I said, if y'all are interested in knowing what is in my leave-in, leave a comment below. I'll probably make the video anyway, but you know, just so I know if people are interested, leave a comment below. Ask any other questions you might have, and I will do my best to answer them in the comments or in another video. So, bam. It's looking good. So like I said, you want a nice thick leave-in conditioner. The leave-in is definitely the base, so I would say the better the leave-in, the better this method is going to work for you. So next, I like to add my oil. But before I add my oil, you guessed it, add more water. And like I said, add a little bit of oil to your spray bottle as well. And then you're going to want to spray a good amount on your hair. Really get the ends too. Make sure you are focusing on the ends, by the way. You definitely want to do that so that they're nice and moisturized and they're not breaking off. Especially if you already have a lot of split ends, right? You don't want the split to work its way up the shaft because you do not want to lose that hair. So I added about a 1/4 size amount of oil to this section. That's the amount that works for me. If you think you need more, you can add more. But like I said, I add about a 1/4 size amount. And honestly, if your product isn't foaming as you're doing it, you probably don't have enough product, okay? That's my rule of thumb. I'm trying to get the hair off my fingers. It's like everywhere. There we go. So, like I said, really get at the root, right? And then really work your way through. And like I said, if it's not foaming between your fingers, like you don't have enough product, or maybe you don't have the right products. Perfect. That being said, some products I do recommend. I really like TGIN. Thank God It's Natural. They're also Black owned. They have really good leave-in creams. Also, rule of thumb that I like to use, if you have type 4 hair, especially low porosity, you want it in a tub. Do not buy the leave-ins that come out of a pump or come out of a spray. You want the leave-in that comes in a tub because usually they're a little bit thicker. That being said, that doesn't mean everyone in the tub is perfect. Like I said, if it's thin, if it's like, I probably say thinner than the consistency of yogurt, it's not going to work. I would probably say you want something that has the consistency of like pudding or even like a body butter, you know, like a thick body butter. You want that nice thick consistency, like a deep condition. That type of consistency is what I look for when I buy a leave-in. So I really like TGIN. I definitely recommend them. Shea Moisture is pretty good. They're not Black owned. I'm very wary of that just because I have black hair. I want products that are really made and informed by people that have the same hair as me. So that's why I personally go for Black owned. But if you don't see TGIN, and you're seeing Shea Moisture, I think that works really well. They have really thick leave-in conditioners. So that's the other product I would recommend. So I'm actually, if you haven't seen this video, by the way, check it out. I'm going to link it below. I did do a video using this product. I did a twist. Sorry, it's like covered in the product for my hands. But I did do a video doing twists and then a twist out with this product. So check that below if you're interested. That being said, as I was applying it in the video, I found that my hair looks super defined and juicy. So I actually wanted to repurpose it and just use it as like a curling gel. So we're gonna see what happens. So I'm doing a bit of like an experiment in this video. I'm like grabbing it. It's so like I said, check out the other video if you're interested in how it looks with twists and a twist out. But we're gonna see how it works for, I believe this is called like the wash and go method, or maybe like the moisture lock method. I don't know. I never pay attention to the names. I'm just like, this works for me after experimenting. So add more water. For the gel, I'd probably say this is like a quarter and a half sized amount, and get that up in your hair. So any gel, any curling, styling gel, whatever, curling souffle, whatever they want to call it, as long as it is a gel-like consistency, that should work. What that does is that adds in just that extra barrier that's going to really lock in that moisture. And as you can see, everything is just foaming together and it looks magnificent. You can see how juicy my curls look. And now at this stage, you can see my fingers are just going right through my hair, even with my split ends. It's just running right through. That's why I personally recommend just using your fingers, except for like when you're doing like a wash and like a deep condition, then I like to brush or comb it out. But for styling, I do recommend just using your fingers. You will find that you have less breakage. I do have some shedding, as you can see, like the hair on my fingers, but that's normal, right? It's gonna happen. But I find if I use a brush, I have like a bunch of hair in the brush, versus if I use my fingers, there's not as much hair. So that's what we're looking like. I got product everywhere. I'm so messy when I do it, but it looks great. So to summarize, you're going to want to do water, a leave-in, water, oil, water, and then some type of a curling gel product. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply everything in my hair the way I did it, and then I'm gonna tune back in.
Filling up my cup, coffee talk on the screen porch. So in love, now you're the one I'm losing.
And we're back. So I finished applying it everywhere. As you can see, there is water all over me. So some little notes to keep in mind as you're doing this method. Yes, adding the water in between each product is going to feel like a lot, right? And as you're rubbing the product through, a lot of water is going to drip. So I do recommend maybe just throwing on a shirt that you're not wearing for the day so you don't care if it gets wet, or putting a towel around your shoulders. But keep in mind, once you finish adding all the product, it's not going to drip. You see how my hair isn't dripping? And I literally just finished adding the product. You can tell from the product all over my hands. But so like I said, so as you're applying the water and as you're applying the product, it's going to feel like this is dumb and you're adding way too much water. But go through it, deal with it. Once you finish applying all of the products, so once you finish applying the leave-in, the oil, and the gel, it's not going to drip anymore. As you can see, I'm like shaking my head. It's not dripping, okay? The water you see on me is from me spraying it. It's not actually from my hair dripping. So like, let me dry my neck and like my forehead, and you can see it's not dripping. Then I literally just finished applying the product. I didn't let my hair dry. I literally just finished. Once you add those 3 layers of product, it's gonna stop dripping. So personally, I feel like the way I do it's a little bit different from other methods I've seen, because the other methods I've watched don't recommend adding this much water. And personally, I feel like adding the water between all them layers of product really traps in the moisture. Like I said, this will last me a week straight. What I do when I wake up in the mornings, I spray it with a little bit of water and oil, and I spritz that in the mornings, you know, pull my hair out, and I'm good to go. If you're wondering what I do to my hair at night to maintain it, I usually get one of these hair ties, and I honestly just flip my hair and pull it up. I call it a lazy pineapple because I don't have the time to get a scarf and tie it. I feel like that's a lot of work. So I specifically get one of these, I don't know what they're called. I find that they don't rip my hair like the regular like fabric hair ties do. Or if you have a satin scrunchie, that's also perfect. So just pull your hair up, throw it up. Don't tie it like more than once. Literally just go like bop on your hair, throw on your bonnet. In the morning, pull it out and spray it with water and oil, just a teeny bit, stretch it out, and you're good to go. That lasts a week for me, all right? Now, once I hit the week mark, what I do is I spray a bunch of water and I'll add a light conditioner on top. So like I said, as your main conditioner, you don't want one that is super runny, but to refresh my hair, spray a little bit of oil and water and just add a super light thin conditioner, maybe one that comes in a spray, maybe one that comes in a little pump, and just run that through your hair. That being said, if you don't have a light conditioner, just add your heavy conditioner. Just don't add as much. If you have a really thick one, I would say for the whole head, I'll add maybe 1/4 to 2/4, and that'll last me for 2 weeks total. Maybe add a little oil if you need. So this is how I keep my hair moisturized for a week to 2 weeks. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And tune in every Sunday for new content.